So, hey guys, first of all, a couple things. One, I actually want to explain about the picture for a minute, and then we'll get into the topics at hand. Also, just so you know, this is a stream edit, and because of my software, I had to re-edit the clips together from when I did my original stream, where I was working on these. And the speed paint is a lot nicerly edited. Nicerly? That's a great word, Michelle. But yeah, it's better put together than this. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen the speed draw. If not, I'll have a little thing at the end of the video where you can just watch the speed draw of it. But a lot of people wanted my opinions on the newest episodes and yada yada yada, and I wanted to give them, and this is actually my about third time recording the audio for this. First time I recorded, I thought everything was good, and the audio got corrupted somehow and became unusable. It was really bad. So then I tried recording it a second time, and I forgot to hit record. So I ended up just talking to my mic for about 20 minutes without it being recorded. So that was fun. So this is my third time trying it. So first of all, yes, these are pixel art. Pixel chebis. Because I fucking love pixel art. A lot of people don't know that. If you've been on my channel for a while, though, you probably do. I fucking love pixel art. I started off with pixel art, and, like, it's one of my little things on my bucket list is to, like, do pixel assets for a game or something, or just, like, a lot more pixel art, because I fucking love pixel art. It's what I started. It makes me happy. And, it's really easy to fuck up and really hard to get right, so it's a thing that, like, does take time. Because you're working on such small canvases and such small images, you have to, like, there isn't as much room for hiding your mistakes, which is, you know, for me, I draw really, really fucking big, so it's, like, going from that to small, it's, yeah. So, anyway, the only one that I can think of, on top of my head, that actually gave me real trouble in this whole piece was the shading on Jasper, Garnet's inking, and then White Diamond as a whole. I've drawn White Diamond before, and I wasn't a big fan of how she came out in the original sketch, which is why I fixed things when I went to the inking and finishing phase. But, yeah. Also, a big reason why I made the diamonds so much bigger than the normal gems, and why all the other gems are around the same size, is that, I am going to be turning these into merch, so I had to make sure they were proper sizes. So when I do get charms and stickers and stuff made, they look right and the pixels stay in the resolution. The diamonds, though, are going to be bigger than the guys at the bottom, which is why I had it measured out that the diamonds are going to be about 3 inches by 3 by 3, but like at least 3 inches tall, while the ones in the bottom are going to be about 2.5 inches tall for them. Alright, that's enough talking about the pictures. Let's get on to my thoughts in a whole with Steven Universe with my magical paper ASMR here with my notes here. So, I'm gonna first go into, like, just how I feel about the season, like, as a whole, and then I'm gonna talk about some things, and then I'm gonna, like, touch on the episodes, and then I'm gonna end it on, like, what I feel the overall show should be. So anyway, Steven Universe as a whole, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, for me, it's been really lacking this past season. The past couple episodes with the newest bomb that came out were amazing. They were great. They were why I remember I liked Steven Universe in the first place. But the rest of this season, yeah, not so much. And I don't care, I don't care what the Criniverse says, there are filler episodes in this season. There are complete filler episodes. I really don't know how certain things could not be filler, if that makes any sense. I know that they came out and said, oh yeah, no episodes are filler, and I repeat, okay, if no episodes are filler, then in the first season, I want them to go back to the place where we saw Opal. I want them to use that weird magic replicator wand thing that Pearl had. That's got to come up somehow, right? And that's just for the first season that I can think of, because there's things that came out, were literally never mentioned again, never brought up, never talked about, and it kind of bothers me. From a writing standpoint, I get it from a showrunner. You know, they needed a lot of Monster of the Week, they needed a lot of, you know, this and that, so that way when, you know, they grew hype, they can get into the story of the show. But then coming out and saying no episodes are filler, there is a lot of foreshadowing in even the first season, I will say that a lot, again, with the more recent episodes. And yes, I will be going into spoilers for, I believe this is season 5, pretty much, I'm just gonna call it the Diamond season, when like all the Diamond shit came out, all the things came out. So, if you're watching this in the future and Steven Universe has already been ended, it's the season that came out, aired in 2018, even though they were already done in advance. But anyway, yeah, there have been so much filler this season, and I call it filler because there were so many things that, yes, they were important. They could have easily put 2 or 3 arcs in one episode. My biggest gripe, it's actually really ironic. I actually did a like podcast type of thing with a buddy of mine over the last Stephen Bomb. I believe it was the last one at the time of recording this. It was the Stephen Connie fight Stephen Bomb, pretty much. And I really fucking hated that season. That season. I really hated that arc. I hated that arc because there were so many episodes in that arc that, yes, they were important, but they could have easily been put into their episodes. A perfect example of this is the fact that we got so much information in the past, in the most recent Bomb, obviously. The Rose Quartz stuff, the Rose Quartz Pink Diamond stuff. And with that being said, the reason why I'm being vague, I'm going to go into it when I'm done. I just wanted to talk about this real quick, and then I'll go into like the episodes that I really want to talk about. Cody hadn't been caught up. Cody was sort of like me. After... I'm trying to like think of when we kind of like stopped being as active. What am I saying? I know exactly what it is. So right after the whole Homeworld stuff happened, right after, everything happened with Lars, which was very, very amazing, in my opinion. I fucking hated Lars, and they redeemed him really well. After Steven was on the trial, what am I saying? Wow, I'm an idiot. Yeah, the whole trial arc. That's when Cody and I kind of dipped off for a bit. I watched the episodes when they were released. Cody didn't. He waited for there to be a bomb, because he, like a lot of people, he was like, why am I going to get invested in something that I'm going to get, if we do a bomb, he's like, we'll get maybe an hour's worth of episodes, hour and 15 minutes. I would rather just wait, binge it when I have good enough time to do stuff, and then I'll be caught up in no time, which is exactly what he did. And the proof that there were filler episodes where there were episodes I literally completely forgot about. I had watched all the episodes, and I'd completely forgotten about them, to where I was able to literally... The only episodes that stuck out in my mind were the episodes that were important to the plot. And by that, I was able to literally tell Cody, okay, Mayor Dewey's not mayor anymore. The Nana Foi is. And Cody was like, well, who the fuck is Nana Foi? See what I'm talking about here? Like, there are certain characters in Beach City where people know what they look like, but people don't know who the fuck they are, because we haven't seen them in forever, or they're not important. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll come back into the picture, but as of right now, that. So that happened. I told him that Steven and Connie got in a fight for like 4 or 5 episodes where they just didn't talk to each other. Steven didn't talk about the trial stuff, which was really bothersome to me. That really bothered me a lot. The whole fact that after Steven was on Homeworld, after he watched Lars fucking die, and we know that because Lars said, I'm pretty sure, in a later episode, Lars was like, did she even care that I died? Like, I died. Like, I'm pretty sure he said he died. So they acknowledge he fucking died, he didn't really, like, he kind of told, Sadie and and Lars's parents about it, but I don't know. I feel like with everything that had gone on after everything Steven had learned about, and watching a friend of his, pretty much because of his fault. Yeah, Lars stayed on the ship because Lars is a fucking idiot. But, like, because of Steven, it's like a thing like there. It's like, all this wouldn't have happened if Rose Quartz hadn't done the stuff she'd done if Steven wasn't around. And that's a really fucked up thing to say, but it's true. And that's something that I feel like I wish Steven himself kind of acknowledged, instead of like, oh yeah, I watched a friend die, all this stuff's happening on Homeworld, oh, but my best friend's mad at me and won't talk to me, is really fucking dumb. And I really, and I know they came up with a conclusion at the end of that whole Steven and freaking Connie fighting arc, but here I am sitting here like, yeah, we've been there, and it's fucking bullshit. It's always been bullshit. It's something that Cody and I have always hated when they do this with any kind of couple dynamic in any show where they do the fight where they're just not going to talk to each other and they're miserable for fucking, like, months. Because it was months. They acknowledged in the timeline that whole arc that felt like a week had been fucking months. And that's what made me even more crazy. Was that I'm like, wait, this has been going on for months? Months in the canon. What the hell? And Steven isn't talking about this and this and that. And then when Steve and Connie make up, it's like nothing ever happened. So I was literally able to tell Cody, okay, the only episodes you need to watch are the Lapis and Peridot ones, and you need to know that Sadie quits her job at the Big Donut, the mayor is no longer the mayor, Connie cuts her hair. Ta-da! And Cody was like, oh, okay. He literally didn't watch any of that arc besides the Lapis and Peridot episodes. And the one where Peridot and them are in the kindergarten. And Cody was just fine. He didn't feel he missed out on anything. He actually told me that he was happy that he didn't have to go through the bullshit episodes that I did. Because he was like, okay, so the mayor's not the mayor. Did he have to move to Beach City? And I'm like, no. And he's like, so nothing important happened. The mayor lost his job. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. And so that happened. Then we had the Lapis and Peridot episodes. We had Peridot leave. We had not Peridot leaving. We had Lapis leaving. We had Peridot getting over it. Yeah. All that happened, and then we went into the whole the Rose Quartz is Pink Diamond episodes. And fuck, I had totally forgotten about the episode where Garnet got her cat. I totally forgotten about that episode. I know there was a thing there because Garnet was like second guessing herself and yeah, but like in the later episodes, it never showed that she was like that. I just think that's kind of lazy writing a little bit. Just that, like, yeah, Garnet was second guessing herself for one episode, and then by the end of the episode was fine. It made sense when I can't even say it made sense. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense when Ruby and Sapphire had the fight, but I'm all over the damn place. So let's just keep going, right? So that happened. We went through the Rose Quartz episodes as Pink Diamond. We had the Lapis on the moon. Cody was really intrigued. He was like, oh, wow, Pearl shattered her. This is really cool. And then, there's the reveal of Rose Quartz being Pink Diamond. And Cody was like, oh, so we were right. And I'm like, yep, we were right. Rose Quartz is Pink Diamond. Pearl was her Pearl. Yeah. And so Cody said the kind of same thing I did. He's like, oh, that kind of belittles Pearl's character a bit, doesn't it? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, she wasn't really a renegade. She wasn't really a rebel gem. She was doing what her master wanted, in a sense, And then, yeah, we both kind of agreed on that. And the next episodes came out, and we saw, where that was a little different, where, it was actually Pearl's idea, where it was like, yeah, Pearl was like, you should be a quartz, and this and that, and Pearl said all this, and I was like, okay, good, they were able to redeem her in an episode, but, like, what are with these gaps, Cartoon Network? Seriously, the episodes are done. I'm not even saying air an episode every single day of the week, but, like, fuck, do one once a week, something more constant than us waiting literally half a year and you milking these seasons out, Because I'm telling you right now, it's not making people want to get the app. It's definitely not. Because, again, I was talking to Cody about this, we don't have a lot of money. And Cody said, he's like, yeah, why would I pay to get the Cartoon Network app for a show that doesn't even air regularly, that wears very inconsistently. It'll do a like batch of episodes in one go, and then you won't see anything for months. He's like, why would I pay for the app? Why? That literally makes no sense to me. We don't watch anything else on Cartoon Network. I'm sorry to say, we don't watch like OKKO. We don't watch anything else on Cartoon Network. We don't watch that much TV anymore because of just BS like this. It's just not that enticing anymore. So there's that going on, we got the whole thing, we got the revelation of that. Then there was the whole episodes with, everybody else finding out about it, and them finding out about how, I shouldn't say finding out about how, but them finding out about, Rose Quartz being Pink Diamond, and how it, ripped the crystal gems apart. I liked that, but I still, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but from a writer's standpoint, I would have rather, again, cut out those episodes or put them all in two of Sadie quitting the Big Donut, the mayor becoming not the mayor anymore, yada yada yada, and just having us like just sink in of the everything that's happened, because it doesn't feel like we've had any time to breathe. And one of the episodes I really liked was the episode where, like, Ruby and Sapphire have their fight, and Amethyst and Steven have that, like, they just talk. They sit in the pizza shop, there's nothing really going on, and they just talk about what's going on. They talk about the issues. They talk about, and Amethyst is the one person who is like, how is this affecting you, Steven? Like, how do you, how do you care about this? I really like that episode, and I wish we had more episodes like that, where we have, Steven one-on-one talking with the Crystal Gems and or Peridot, just talking about all this. Because that was another thing, like, that kind of got me a little upset, was, again, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but, like, Peridot was there when the whole rose quartz of the pink diamond thing came out, and Steven told them, if I remember, if I'm getting my timelines right, she was in the bathroom being all mopey and depressed. I wanted to see Peridot's reaction to that, because we don't see that. We see Bismuth's when Bismuth comes back, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but, like, does Peridot not know? Does she know? Does she just not care? I feel like, especially from, like, a homeworld gem like Peridot, even though she'd never been to homeworld, would have been a very interesting thing. We could have done a whole episode on that, where we could have had Peridot, like, I was literally thinking about this the other day because I wanted to, like, actually, like, rewatch the episodes when I was doing this, talking through and everything. I'm like, man, wouldn't that have been funny if Peridot, because, Peridot pretty much said, like, fuck you to Yellow Diamond and everything, but then she finds out that Steven Rose was Pink Diamond, and so now she is, in a sense, with a diamond. I wanted to see if Peridot would start treating Steven differently, and Steven would be like, no, I'm still Steven, I'm not Pink Diamond, and then she'd be like, yeah, Steven Diamond. Like, that could have been a big thing, and that could have been a whole episode instead of the stupid filler ones we got, because instead, we don't even see Peridot's reaction to that. We just see them talking about the wedding and all that stuff, and I really liked the episode where, I liked how Ruby wanted to be on her own and wanted to, like, enjoy her thing, but she wanted to be with Sapphire. Like, I liked that a lot. I liked the whole wedding concept. I really do. But again, I feel like there was a lot of stuff that was rushed and glazed over that really should have been talked about more, instead of the stupid Beach City episodes. The Beach City episodes made sense in earlier seasons. They really did. But now, with everything going on, I don't see a point for it, and I'm going to go more into that when I'm done with my little recap. My really bad Steven Universe recap. If you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. So, Sapphire, I liked that Sapphire felt really bad about the wedding, and that, like, none of their friends, like, their friends couldn't be there. Their friends were all, like, were all bubbled downstairs and all that stuff. And I liked that Steven thought about Bismuth. Because, let's be honest, it's been so long since Bismuth was even kind of mentioned that we kind of started to forget about her. At least Cody and I did. Same with Jasper. Poor Jasper's fucking still in a bubble. Also, I know people are going to ask why Bismuth isn't in the bunch. This was actually a selected order from one of my patrons, and Bismuth wasn't on the list. If I make enough money when I'm done with San Japan and my wedding and moving and everything, I'll add her, and I'll add fusions to the pixel mix, just because I want to throw that out there, because people were asking where Bismuth was. Didn't forget about her, she wasn't in the order. So anyway, hey, so sorry, back. I actually had to record this second part on a second day, because the very, very rude gardener people just got so loud for at least a good couple hours after that, and then when I tried recording the rest of the audio, it was peak time, so, like, everyone and their mom was on the road, so I couldn't do that either. So, let's go back to what I was talking about. So, I was talking about Bismuth and everything having to do with her and what was going on. I really did like her episode, but again, I reiterate, I still feel like we missed an episode in her redemption arc, because everything happened so fast. And I'm saying it again, I wish, instead of having the stupid filler episodes that were dragged out as long as they were, we couldn't have a Bismuth episode. We couldn't have this and that. Bismuth got one episode, And then we're going right into the wedding. And so then I really liked the wedding. I did. I thought it was great. I liked the implication of it all. I kind of liked how, I liked that they put Ruby in the dress instead of Sapphire. If you guys don't know, in a couple of other countries, rubies are like the one boy gem because they couldn't do that, even though they're all genderless space rocks. But people are weird. Like, people normally like to talk about like the homosexual agenda and all that shit. And I used to not really believe it. And then as I'm getting older, I'm like, ooh, yeah, no, I'm seeing that in media a lot when it's not necessary. That's not the point of this, is it? But so I really liked the wedding. I thought it was great. I thought it was a good way to have story move along with the Beach City characters. And you must be wondering, like, Michelle, why are you putting such emphasis on the Beach City characters? I'll tell you why. It's because, like, it made sense back when the show started, but now it really doesn't. With everything happening, with all of stuff hitting the max that it's at now, I feel like we can't really, like, we can have cooldown episodes. Like I said, I really like the Amethyst and Steven one at the pizza shop, but, like, that's kind of it. I feel like that should be where it is. I feel, obviously I'm not the show, and the show's not made for me, but I'm just saying from a writing standpoint, it seems very, very, very weird. Alright, now let's just, keep going into detail, with what other happened at the episodes, and then I'll go into everything else as a whole. Like I said, I this is a rambles. You guys wanted my opinions. That's what it is. I'm all over the place. Sorry. So yeah, we had the wedding, and then we immediately, right after the wedding, we had the amazing episode Reunited. Or Reunited was mixed with the wedding. Tomato, yarn avocado, whatever. But just the fact that I loved it. I feel like that was one of the most well-written episodes of the entire season so far, where, everyone's having a good time, everything's fun and happy, and then Steven starts, I believe he was laughing, and then he starts crying, and then he just keeps crying, and he's like, oh shit, that means, well, not obviously oh shit, but he's like, that means they're coming, and it was such a great, intense episode. Everything about it was wonderful. I loved showing everyone's growth. I loved showing everyone fighting together. I'm happy that Lapis came back and, slapped the barn on fucking Blue Diamond. I thought that was great. Because I also like how it meant the barn is now destroyed now, because I, like a lot of people who I listen to who talk about cartoons, and I don't really talk about cartoons that much on this channel, they all brought up how they hated the fucking barn because it was used as, like, a plot device. It was like, yeah, Peridot and Lapis are off in their barn doing their lesbian aunt thing, while the crystal gems are here. And with the whole framing device of the show is that, we only get stuff through Steven's point of view, which is very different, and I like it to an extent, but then there are certain things, a lot like a first-person book, I read a lot of books, where you're going to miss out on story elements, character development, plot points, if the main character isn't there to witness it, which is what's kind of lame. You wanna take a break sometimes. And I believe, like people pointed out, the only episode where Steven wasn't in the picture was the Jungle Moon, where it was, Stevani, but it still counts, whatever. But yeah, where was I going with that tangent? Anyway, we see everybody get together. I really liked Paradots. I'm not even a Lapidot shipper or an Amidot shipper. I don't know. I'm really weird. I don't like shipping Peridot with people. Clearly she likes Lapis, though. I mean, that's kind of heavily implied that she cares about Lapis a lot. So we saw her really sweet, like, you're here. Like, that really got to me, because we didn't think Lapis was going to show up. She has her mental breakdown on the moon, and we thought she flew away. We didn't know she went back to the moon, So, I liked that she just came back and dropped the fucking barn on Blue Diamond, and I like how we didn't see any of the diamonds poof. I know it's like a weird thing, but I like showing, like, they just kept getting hit by hit by hit by hit by hit by hit by hit, where they didn't even, like, really, they didn't get hurt at all, realistically, and then I liked going into the whole mind powers thing that Steven has, where he was, like, in this, like, other plane of existence. I don't want to call it a dimension, because it wasn't really that, but I like the implication that Steven was poofed, you know, when Yellow Diamond fucking just curb stomped his ass. Where she just fucking neumed. She neumed! And that always makes me laugh. Because, I was talking to Zodiac about this a while ago, and he's brought it up, you know, when we see big characters, usually they're very slow, they're this, that, and she just fucking was like, nope! I'm gonna step on your ass, Steven. And I like how, like, none of them believed him. You know, they thought he was all lying about the whole Pink Diamond thing. It made no sense. And then, you know, we had that moment where, like, everyone's talking, and I like how Steven had that, like, his aura, his power, was, like, being able to, like, hear people and give, like, them encouragement to everybody. I like how we got to hear everybody's point of view. But what I really liked was when it got to the diamonds, in that, like, little bubbly area, they didn't care about the fight. They didn't. They didn't even go there for them. They literally went there to get the cluster and leave. That was it. But then, you know, we see that they're both mourning still after all this time, after the loss of Pink, you know? And then Steven gets to talk to them, you know? And something I had liked, I would have liked, I should say, was, so, I'm one of the people, I hate Pink Diamond's gem placement. I really do. I know why they did it. I still hate it. I don't like it. But something I would have liked, since they, like, put such an emphasis on, like, not showing his gem and, like, not showing that, was I didn't want his gem placement to change. A lot of people wanted his gem placement to go back. But I kind of wanted him to have Pink Diamond's eyes. I don't know. I think that would have been really interesting. Because the whole, like, I know they felt it, but from a cinematic standpoint, I feel like it would have meant so much more when, Steven woke up and it was the end of the episode, and you hear, you know, you hear Blue and Yellow just say, like, it's you, Pink, and you see Steven, like, kind of open his eyes, because they didn't even have his eyes open. So I felt like it would have been a great thing to have that line happen, and then him open his eyes, and he have Pink Diamond's eyes. Even if it was just for a minute, and then went back to, like, his normal black eyes. I felt like that's what they should have done. I don't know. I'm hoping that, like, later on in the series, as, you know, the last episode we got recently, they kind of, I don't know, bring it up. They pull an anime. I don't know what else to call it. Like, you know, where, like, the main character kind of, like, shows their true form when you think about it. Because Steven Universe is so much an anime at this point. It's, like, not even funny. And people are gonna try to be like, what, it's not an anime? It's like, no, it's so inspired by anime, guys. You gotta, like, it might not have the anime style, but it's so inspired by anime, it's not even funny anymore. But then we got, you know, the legs from here to Homeworld, and again, I felt kind of like this episode was rushed, and I felt like, wow, look at all this stuff you can put into a 10-minute episode and have it, like, impact. Yet we still have those really boring filler episodes that people didn't need to know about, that you give them a basic rundown and they're fine. They don't need to know anything else. There was even some episodes I literally completely forgot. Like, I completely forgot about the episode where Sadie and her band went off and, like, did a concert. I totally, like, blocked that episode in my mind because I didn't even fucking remember it. And so we got legs from here to Homeworld, and legs from here to Homeworld. Tongue-tied. This is great. You know, we had clearly time has passed because everyone's different. They're not in their wedding outfits anymore. But, like, how much time has passed since this happened? I understand that it felt a little weird. Like, you know, Blue was super happy. I liked Bismuth being like, you know, just look at her. She's not gonna hurt him. Like, chill. You know, let him snuggle and stuff. And I like how, like, I don't know how to word it. I like the dynamic, but I also don't like it. I know it's weird. I felt like, you know, yeah, they're happy that Steven's alive, but I don't know if you've noticed, they don't at least from what I remember, they don't call him Steven. They still call him Pink. They don't call him Steven. Even though Steven kind of tries to emphasize to them, like, I'm not Pink anymore. I'm not, like... Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember Blue or Yellow calling Steven Steven. They kept calling him Pink, you know? I liked how they emphasized, you know, with Pink's ship being a butt. I don't know. I think that was funny. Like, that showed that it was a kid's cartoon, in my opinion. Because sometimes I forget it is a kid's cartoon. And then I liked how they showed how, like, you know, she had to pilot her ship. I like how it also implied that in the previous episode, with Pink having to pilot her ship like this, it means that Yellow Diamond actually was arm wrestling the fucking cluster. Which, I liked the cluster. I liked how, like, you know, they brought all this stuff together that we had questions about, and they brought him back. I thought it was great. I liked that we got to know what Centipede was. I liked that we learned that she was an Nephrite. You know, I liked we got to see what she looked like. But I also liked that after all this time, after all this effort, we finally got a name drop for White. And I like how, you know, oh god, when we went to Homeworld, I loved her pearl. I loved everything about White Diamond's reveal. I think it was great. I thought it was handled perfectly. You know, in all the other reveals, we ended up having this, like, long, drawn-out thing. We had all the foreshadowing. We had, you know, like, the hiding of the murals. We just, the whole shebang. And then it's like, nope, boy, you're getting your ass here. And just the way that she was painted into the background, only her face was animated. The whole T posing for dominance meme, because, you know, everybody loves that meme. It was just so perfect. It was so unsettling, so uncanny valley. And with what happened with the diamonds, I was mad. Then we saw White, and I was like, you know what? This could be it. This could be Endgame. Because I don't want Steven Universe to give kids and audiences bad impressions. And by that, like, I want them to have a person Steven couldn't help. I know it sounds weird, and Rebecca Sugar openly admitted that, you know, we're gonna see how everybody's mourning, because everybody's mourning. But White knew that she was Pink without any knowledge, you know, and there was no way that she had communication, because Yellow and Blue were like, let us talk about it. They all talked about her temper. Even Pearl was talking about it. You know, they all talked about how she's not like everybody else. And then we see her, and she's not even second guessing it. She's like, oh, you know, welcome home, Pink. And she says, welcome home. That's also a key phrase there. I had originally, you know, like, a lot of people kind of, like, brushed past that. They thought of everything else. But I'm like, she said welcome home, not welcome back. Which was also another big sign that she knew what was going on. You know, she knew what was going on. And then a lot of people were talking about the parallels from her Pearl. Because they don't say White Pearl. They don't say, you know, so-and-so's Pearl. They say it's her Pearl. And we see them act all weird. And we see that her Pearl, like, looks really weird, which I also liked. You know, I'm also hoping that we get some white gems showing up soon. I want to see if they're all kind of weird and creepy and uncanny valley like White Diamond is. Because if you notice, a lot of our gems, besides the crystal gems that we've met, who fit under each character's court, they all have, like, certain personality traits and certain characteristics. So, since we see that White Diamond is this, like, weird, again, uncanny valley type thing, I want to see more of that, you know? I like how she wouldn't let Steven fucking talk. You know, I love how her pupils are white instead of black. And I'm also a person who really loves fucking fan theories. I like me some fan theories, okay? Like, it just made me, like, theorize and specialize, and I just thought it was great. It made me love the show again. It made me excited about the new episodes, which the show hasn't done in a long, long, long time. You know, and how I feel about, you know, the story as a whole is I think it's great. I think we're at endgame here. I think we're like this. I believe, from what I know, we didn't get another season renewal. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, go ahead, comment down below. But, like, this is it. This is gonna be the end of Steven Universe. You know, this is gonna be the last season. And a lot of people are like, I don't want it to go on more. I don't want to. And it's like, but I feel like it's dragged on so much. I mean, it's been, someone pointed out that it's been 3 years since Peridot joined the team. 3 years! Can you believe that? That just, again, and it shows that, because the show's been around for a long time, and I feel like we just, again, I'm not saying, like, oh, let's just get the whole season done with. No, but I want constant uploads. At least semi-constant ones. Hell, even if it's once a month. Like, give us a week, once a month. I'm fine with that. But I'm sick and tired of the bomb format. I'm sick and tired of Cartoon Network thinking it's helping their ratings when it's not. And another reason why I want it to be done is I want it to be done before the sinking ship is done. Because a lot of networks now aren't doing as well as they used to. They're really not. They're not getting the attention that they used to. And I'm worried that's going to happen with Steven Universe because they keep trying to fucking just drag it out. And I I don't want that to happen. I want it to be, as a writer and a storyteller and everything else I love doing in my free time and reading, one of the worst things you can do is milk something until it's dry. You want to get it done so it sits with you, so it stays. Very few shows end when they're supposed to end, and then they get so long convoluted that people just don't care anymore. And I don't want that to be Steven Universe because it was becoming Steven Universe. A lot of people weren't caring anymore. I still have a handful of friends who were like, I've literally waited this long. I'm gonna wait till it's done and just binge watch the show till the end. That's it. I don't care anymore. I just don't care. And that's really bad. That's really bad when you want people to watch a show. So there's my thoughts and opinions. I think it was great. I want more like it. I don't want more Beach City episodes unless it actually has something to do with the plot and not in an Onion Gang sort of way. Because I don't care what you say unless those characters somehow show back up. That episode was dumb. Again, that was an episode that could have been mentioned when the people were getting kidnapped. It'd be like, oh, well, Onion hangs out in this spot. I'll go check it out. Instead of like, oh, we have this whole episode in this spot to show that Onion likes hanging out here. That was a one-off comment that you could have easily just done with. There was so many times they've done stuff like that where it needs to stop, it needs to end. Let's just we're heavy in plot. Let's do this. Let's go to Endgame. And so I hope you guys enjoyed my very crazy ramble and tangents. I had fun making this. I had fun making the picture. And as always, guys, I will see you next time. Bye.